Okay, so Doctor Who returned for the latest season. It's been around for a while now, and it's been quite a mixed bowl of contention with some people. I mean, one of the main issues is the whole 13 Lives thing, which was in the previous season explained in quite a silly way. I mean, for starters, Matt Smith on the beach when the whole silence thing was regenerating on his last life when River killed him and then gave him back life by giving up all of her regenerations in a really stupid way of explaining the fixed point in time and how she ended up in jail and all this. And that was really kind of quite bad, especially when there comes to the point where Trenzalore happens after it, obviously in the timeline, wibbly wobbly space stuff, yes. But there was always the whole point where everything is written and there's sort of a theme behind it and a timeline, and yes, in complicated ways of explaining it, Trenzalore happened because of all of that, and he knew he was going to die there, and the silence, which again has had 3 or 4 different meanings, the Pandorica and now this, and then the silence only began at Trenzalore, so they became committed to eradicating the Doctor so that he couldn't speak his name at Trenzalore and restore the rest of the Time Lords. But the Battle of Trenzalore happens anyway, and he didn't speak his name, but the silence still went back to kill him in the previous timeline that already happened, and they know didn't kill him. And so there's the whole future battle which is yet to happen, but Matt Smith's Doctor realised where River was born, of course, because of the young kids that became the soldiers that wanted to kill the Doctor, because of the evils that he performs in this life. So obviously he already knew he was regenerating, which is why in the first episode he calls up his assistant to say keep an eye on him, blah blah blah, because he's obviously planning already for his evil self. And obviously they've hinted towards it, like they don't show him killing people, like him kicking the person out of the thing and all the other things where he's let people die and he's choosing, you know, they're trying to keep him not quite evil but just sort of not really giving a damn about anything, as more of a soldier. They've explained it, so he's the soldier regeneration, and they're going to go through the whole process, hopefully not in this season, it should have to be, you know, when he's regenerating, but obviously he would choose to give up the soldier style and become the normal Doctor again. And this Doctor is the one that all the Daleks know and everything, because of in the previous timeline where he had been raised by his assistant being inside the Dalek, which, because they've altered the timeline, he no longer dies at Trenzalore, she can't split through space through being in the TARDIS, hence why they're having to go back to the stupid lesbian lizard and assistant, and I don't know why Moffat's obsessed with that. That should be its own thing if it wants to be something, not a constant thing in Doctor Who. It's just kind of like, yeah, you're showing off all the aliens that you've created, but kind of in a really stupid and bad way that just doesn't really fit the series. Yeah, so they're going back there, hence she could probably end up there, losing her memory and becoming the maid at the inn and all the other things, and they obviously went inside the Dalek that becomes the traitor Dalek that could have her intelligence passed into it through having connected with this. So that's how that could happen, that she could inadvertently be inside the Dalek in the past, where she raises the timeline so everyone forgets the good Doctor but only remembers the current Doctor as the bad Doctor, because he's going to now mess up all the timeline to the point where River was born and they've forgotten all the good he's done and he's only this really, really evil person. And again, there's going to have to be links back to the past, where River, of course, I think is been in this season, but not as River. He has to still save her because he's doing his thing subtly to open the doors, and that was River's boyfriend's thing. They tried to make Matt Smith do it, but he didn't really do it, so he's not really the one that she married. He's going to marry this one, and because of all that, he's going to then have to give her his Sonic. And of course he's going to give her the Sonic with the thing on it that stores the memory buffers, and that is also how they're all ending up in essentially Utopia. It's inside the computer where River is stored, and River of course has regenerated into Missy because the computer can reprogram the people back into whatever state, because it reprogrammed the one dumb girl into a hyper intelligent one, so it could easily change River back into a Time Lord, give her lives back, and so she can regenerate inside the computer into Missy. And once she's restored outside of it, or maybe they'll make the Doctor do it himself, so that all the people that he lets down in his current life have their memory buffer stored and then put into the computer. And one way that would make sense that he could do it is obviously he's going to know when he's going to die, because he's going to meet River and she's not going to recognise him because of the whole reverse timelines, and that's how he was when he first met her. So he should put together that when he meets her and she doesn't recognise him, that's going to be the point where he's going to die as well. And then obviously he can think, well, I've put her into the computer and now I can save her because I will use my regenerating energy to restore everyone inside the computer. So he'll link with the computer thinking he's just going to restore her and the few people that were on the station, but of course he will restore everyone that he let down in his current life, and they'll all be materialised through the transporter matter thing of the library and save everyone, and then they'll both begin with new lives going in the same direction in time rather than opposite directions, and that would make sense as a good storyline, as opposed to different things that Moffat keeps messing it up. He doesn't seem to have any sense of continuancy with half of his storylines. But that is the one matter that would make sense, and that seems to be the thing that they're hinting towards in this current season. So yeah, hopefully they don't just all do it in one season, because that would be a bit crap. And the whole thing where he's going to lose his current companion although she's still sticking about, I think that he's got to go off on his own on some point and then become truly about his own fights with his own consciousness and not giving a damn about things and being the warrior to wipe out all the different bad species, even though they technically should be able to be saved, and that would be the Doctor's normal way of doing it, but he is not doing everything as he could. And the one other loophole that they keep missing out is what happened to his clone daughter from that one timeline. She's out there somewhere in a spaceship alive that they didn't know came back to life. So yeah, they might bring that back into it at some point, but I doubt it. It's mostly going to be about the silence and resolving that plot, and then they can begin writing plot lines anew and hopefully not regenerate the whole universe from it being wiped out and started again from a blank slate. And yeah, there's kind of a lot of bad writing in terms of some of them plots, but that's what they get for having separate writers with one person writing the continuous plot but changing it between seasons, so they don't have one overall objective writer with the main plot that keeps everything on track. They just have wibbly wobbly plots all over the place. Yes, they can explain it through time distortions and things changing in some way, but in others the Doctor does seem to know where he's going and what different things are going on where and where he takes them, and fixed points in time that can't be changed and things that can be changed but also already have been changed by him, so the future stays on its main track. He just has to go there to change it at some points, and he already knows that things have done that. So yeah, it kind of gets complicated from there on in, but I'm sure they have ways of sorting it out and not messing up continuously entirely. There are places and times that they can go and new species that they can come in. They don't have to keep revisiting the Cybermen and already existing aliens. They can be a little more creative and make new ones. Especially since they've reset the universe, there's got to be new races out there that can be done. But we shall see how it unfolds, and that is what I expect to happen with the Misty timeline. She seems to be River, really. If not, it doesn't really make much sense, does it? But thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.